All right, example 2 says to solve and check. But now we've got those fractions, don't we? But we've dealt with this before. We did this last semester. So what are we going to do to get rid of the fractions? We're going to multiply by its least common denominator. So I'm going to come up here first and write out my least common denominator. And then I'm going to multiply all my terms by it. Well, in order to find your least common denominator, what do we need to do to the denominators? Yeah, I need to break them down. I need to factor them down, right? So 4 will break down. What is 4?
2, 2.
What about 14?
7, 2.
And what about 7?
7.
It's just 7. It doesn't break down at all, does it? All right, so right now, my least common denominator, I have nothing written there, correct?
Yeah. 2, 2, 7.
But I know it's got to have these 2 2's for the first one. So I'm going to put 2 2's in it. So 2 times 2. And then I've got to check it. Check with the second denominator. Does it have a 7 already?
No, so put it.
No, so put it.
Then they already have 2.
And check the 2. Does it already have a 2? Yes. And then check your next denominator. Does it already have a 7?
Yes.
So I don't need to put it either. So there's my least common denominator, which is what I'm going to multiply all of these fractions by. So every term, whether or not it was a fraction, would get multiplied by 2, 2, and 7. So I'm going to multiply all of these by 2, 2, and 7. And remember, we cancel out anything that's on top and bottom. So basically, our bottom will cancel, and so will the same things that are on the outside. So for that first term, we have 2 times 2 on bottom. So we know those are going to cancel. The 2 2's on the outside are canceled. So I'm left with 7 on the outside and x minus 3 on the inside. So 7 times x minus 3. Then we had an equal sign. The second fraction had a 7 and a 2 on bottom. So the 7 and the 2 are going to cancel with the 7 and one of the 2's that are on the outside. So I'm left with a 2 on the outside and the 5 on the inside. Minus, because there's a minus sign there. The last fraction has a 7 on the bottom, so it's going to cancel with the 7 on the outside. So on the outside I have 2 times 2, but what is 2 times 2?
4.
So I have a 4 on the outside times the x plus 5 on the inside. And then because this one had an equal sign, remember we don't have to put it all over the common denominator. And so now we're just ready to solve this equation. So what do we do first?
Distribute.
All right, we're going to distribute. So let's distribute the 7 on the left. So what's 7 times x?
7x minus 21.
Yeah, and then be careful. That's 7 times a negative 3, which is good, negative 21, equals, this is just 2 times 5, which is, and then what do we do? We're going to distribute, good, the negative 4. So negative 4 times x is, and negative 4 times positive 5 is
20.
negative 20. Now what?
You put it all together. Or, no, you take out the 4, or you add the 4 to the other side.
Okay, I can. Is that what everybody wants to do first?
Yeah.
All right, so you said let's add the 4x to the other side. So 7x plus 4x is 11x. So my minus 21 equals, I have 10. Negative 4x plus 4x cancel, and I still have minus 20. You saying combine the 10 and the 20? Yeah. Some of y'all might have wanted to do that first. That's okay. It doesn't matter. So you're saying we got like terms here. So we have 11x minus 21 equals, what's 10 minus 20? Good. Now what?
It's 11x equals 11.
How?
Because you
Good. Add the 21. So we get 11x, negative 21 plus 21 cancels, equals negative 10 plus 21 is 11.
And then you subtract by, or divide by 11.
Good. Divide by the 11 in front of the x because you're trying to get it by itself. And you get x equals 1. But we have to check it. Don't be intimidated by the fractions. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the problem because I did a lot of scratching out. And that way I don't have to worry about that. So it was what? X minus 3 over 4 equals 5 over 14 minus x plus 5 over 7. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and build my skeleton. So it's x minus 3 over 4 equals just 5 over 14 minus x plus 5 over 7. And what are we going to plug in? We're going to plug in that 1. Remember, when you check it, you work one side and then you work the other side. So let's just work on the left side right now. What's 1 minus 3?
2.
Negative 2. And it's over 4. And what's negative 2 over 4?
Negative 2.
Negative 1/2.
You wouldn't multiply those?
No. When you check, there's no multiplying or anything. It's just work one side and then the other. But you got the calculator that can guide you through it if you need some help, okay? Now, for the right side, you've got 5 over 14. Just a number, so just bring it down. Minus, and then we have a fraction. That fraction says 1 plus 5, which is 6 over 7, right? And now we've got to subtract these. So guys, I'll let you put it in the calculator now if you want to. So subtract 5 over 14 minus 6 over 7. All right, so when you do this, you get negative 1/2. Some of y'all's calculators might tell you negative 0.5. Math enter, right? Or negative 0.5 is the same as negative 1/2. So is that true?
Yes.
Good. And that means that what's our solution? 1 is our solution.